Microsoft. You almost definitely use their products every single day. But do you really know how this tech giant, now almost 50 years old, actually makes its money? And maybe more importantly, is its business getting stronger? Well, today we're going to pop the hood on this tech behemoth and find out.
We're going to explore whether Microsoft's business is really strengthening by telling the story of its massive reinvention over the last decade or so. And we're going to back it all up with the hard numbers from their financial reports. Just a quick reminder, this is all for educational purposes.
So to really get a clear picture, we're going to walk through 5 key areas. First, how did Microsoft pull off its huge pivot? Second, where's the money really coming from these days? Third, is all that growth actually profitable? Fourth, just how strong is its financial foundation? And finally, what does the future look like and what are the risks?
For decades, Microsoft was the company, the one that put a PC on pretty much every desk with Windows. But its modern identity and its absolutely incredible financial success was forged in a massive shift away from that legacy and straight into the cloud.
You know, this shift, under the leadership of Satya Nadella back in 2014, was really the critical turning point. Before he took over, a lot of people were wondering if Microsoft's best days were behind it. But that strategic decision to go all in on cloud computing completely changed the game for them.
Okay, so that's the strategy. But how did it actually play out on the financial statements? Let's track the transformation of Microsoft's revenue engine and see where the money comes from today.
This timeline really helps put it all in perspective. You see the launch of Windows way back in '85, but the recent stuff is what really tells the modern story. Their cloud platform, Azure, was actually launched in 2008, but it was Nadella's leadership from 2014 that unlocked its true potential. And that led to huge bets, like buying Activision Blizzard, to really expand their dominance in gaming.
And the impact on the numbers, it's just stunning. Back in fiscal 2015, right after the new strategy got going, revenue was about $93.5 billion. Now fast forward to fiscal 2025, and it's a staggering $281 billion. You can literally see the growth just take off as that cloud strategy kicked into high gear.
So where's all this cash coming from? Well, it's broken down into 3 main buckets. First up, you've got productivity and business processes. That's things like Microsoft 365 subscriptions and LinkedIn. It's a really consistent, steady grower. Second, and this is the real star of the show, is the intelligent cloud segment, which is all about Azure. This is the main growth engine, just fueled by the whole world shifting to cloud computing. And third is more personal computing. That's Windows, Surface devices, and now all the gaming from Xbox and Activision. The main thing to remember here is that the cloud is what's driving the most powerful growth.
All right, so revenue is exploding, which is great. But, you know, growth for growth's sake doesn't mean much. What really shows a business's strength is turning that revenue into actual profit. So that brings us to the big question. Is all this growth actually profitable?
And the answer is a huge resounding yes. Just look at how net income, that's the pure profit left after every single bill is paid, has just blown up right alongside revenue. It climbed from $12 billion in 2015 to over $101 billion in 2025. This isn't just growth, it's incredibly profitable growth.
Yeah, over $101 billion in pure bottom-line profit for the year. I mean, that number alone shows you the immense scale and efficiency of Microsoft's business today. And that efficiency really comes from the high-margin nature of things like software and cloud services, which is so different from the old model of just selling one-time software licenses.
Now, a fantastic way to measure that efficiency is with a metric called net profit margin. Basically, it answers a very simple question. For every single dollar that comes in the door from sales, how many cents does the company actually get to keep as pure profit?
And Microsoft's number here is seriously impressive. A profit margin of around 36%. So think about it this way. For every $100 in sales that Microsoft makes, it pockets about $36. To give you some context, that is significantly higher than a lot of other big companies, and it's all thanks to the profitability of their cloud and software businesses.
Okay, so the company is making a ton of money, and it's super profitable. But what about its overall financial foundation? Is it stable? Let's take a look at the balance sheet and see if Microsoft is really the financial fortress it seems to be.
So the company's total assets topped $619 billion in 2025. I mean, we're talking about everything the company owns, from its huge pile of cash and investments to the giant data centers that power the cloud, plus all its priceless intellectual property. Now, any fortress has to manage its debts too. And while Microsoft does have a good bit of debt, it's tiny compared to its cash on hand. This means it's in a really strong net cash position.
And here it is, maybe the ultimate proof of its financial strength. Microsoft is one of just a tiny handful of companies in the world with a perfect AAA credit rating. That's the highest score you can possibly get. This strength allows them to invest billions in things like new data centers for the future, while also generating massive amounts of free cash flow. And that cash then fuels great returns for shareholders through things like dividends and buying back their own stock.
So the business is incredibly strong today. The numbers clearly show a profitable, cash-generating machine. But what about tomorrow? Let's take a balanced look at the strength and the challenges that are going to shape its future.
You can really see the tension here. On one hand, the strengths are just immense. They dominate essential markets like cloud and AI, they have incredible profitability, and their products are deeply woven into how their customers operate. But on the other hand, being that big and successful puts a huge target on your back. You've got risks like government scrutiny, fierce competition from the other tech giants, and being a top target for cyber attacks. It's this balance of growth and risk that the market is always trying to figure out.
And this really brings us to the final crucial question for anyone watching this company. There's no doubt they have masterfully navigated this monumental shift from the PC era to the cloud and AI era. The financial results totally speak for themselves. The big question now is whether they can keep up this incredible momentum in the face of all that competition and regulation.
All right, that wraps up our financial breakdown of Microsoft. We hope this has given you a much clearer picture of the company's financial health. As always, remember to do your own research before making any investment decisions. This is Learn, Invest, Repeat, investing made understandable.